Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Rob and this is Seven Skies Astro. Today I'm going to talk about my capture of the Heart of the Heart Nebula, Melot 15. Now this is a cluster of O-type stars which is lighting up the Heart Nebula. Now the Heart Nebula, also known as IC 1805, is around about 7,500 light years away. Now I did capture this previously and I did put this data on my community post, so you'll see the data there of 6 hours worth of in a shoe palette. Now I've captured this using my Skywatcher 120 ED with the Player One Saturn M uncooled mono camera. Now I've got quite a lot of hours on this. I captured this in mid to late August. I've got 8 hours on HA. I've got 5 hours 50 minutes for sulfur 2 and 7 hours 30 minutes of oxygen 3. Now this nebula was discovered on November the 3rd 1787 by that guy up here, William Erskine. Now it's located in the constellation of Cassiopeia. So that's what I've done. I'm going to jump on the computer now and I'll show you the subs. So this is my stacked subs. 03, 7 hours 30 minutes. The HA, which is a lovely signal there, 8 hours 5 minutes, and the least signal I've got here is the sulfur 2, 5 hours 50 minutes. It's still quite a lot though. So what I've done, I've run Grad Expert on them and I've come up with these. There they are. What's happened there? There we the H2, and there we are, all being Grab Experts. Now what I did do as well, I've run Blur Exterminator on each of these. It should, you can see there, just reduce the stars in its native form, and it does an excellent job of that. So these three are being Grab Experts, get the gradient off, and Blur Exterminated to reduce the stars. So that's them three. I've then combined them to give me the initial show image. Now you can see there's lots of green, lots of detail in there for the 21 hours worth. Next up, I've stretched it, I've used SETI Astro's Find My Background, and there it is. That's the background it's found. SETI has got a video on Find My Background and how it works with the find the peaks and the troughs in the data. So that's what I've done, and then I've done spesometric colour calibration just to colour calibrate my narrowband filters, the way the the beta and antler filters, and there we have fully colour calibrated. Next up, I've stretched it, and there you go, the white image of the stretch. I used Bill Blanchard's Pixel Math stretch, I just leave it at default and just stretched it. Next up, because I do find it leaves the stars quite nice, but the stars are all colour calibrated. They're not overly magenta as they usually go. Next up, I've taken the stars out. So I've got my stars. They're all ready to go. So I've cloned this image and put it on my workspace to work on it here. First off, I've taken the green out just to see what it's looking like in this shoe palette, and that's looking quite reasonable well. I've used the histogram transformation just to move the black point up a little bit and just increase the contrast, the mid-tones height, just a little curve in it. Then I've moved on to curves, and what I've done is the saturation, just increase the saturation just a little tiny bit, a little less curve in it, because I don't want to increase the background saturation too much. I've done that twice, so you can see the colours quite popped out a little bit there. And then I've increased the contrast with the RG blue on the curves, and that's just brighten the image twice. And you can see all the magenta coming in there. Then I've hit it with noise exterminator just to take some of the noise out. If you see there, the noise is getting quite high. Now I do use the setting of 75 to 25, 75% denoise and 25% sharpen. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. I just find it seems to help keep the detail a little bit. Next up, I've used advanced sharpen, because if you look at these little bits here, I've just sharpened them just a little tiny bit. I use the script advanced sharpen, but I do turn down the bias layer. I turned it down to 30 on that one, I believe. So, and it just, as you can see, it just brings out that, just clears it up just a little tiny bit. It doesn't need a lot. Then I've gone into the curves again, just increase the saturation a little bit more. Then I've inverted it, take the green out, then inverted it back, and you can see all that slight magenta cast we had going on there is all gone where I've increased the saturation. And it's looking half decent there now. So I was quite pleased with that. There's lots of detail going on. Still a little bit noisy, a little bit noisy there because I didn't fully denoise it. But what I'm going to do now is going to screen the stars back in. So when it's workspace 3, and I'll show you this screen the stars. With the stars, all I've done is just screen them back in, and there we are with the stars back in. There's lots of detail there. Since it is the heart, you can rotate it and whatnot, but that's 1-to-1. You could pixel peep and go, 3-to-1 and stuff like that, and it's getting a bit pixelated now, but you can see there is still a little bit of noise in there. We go up to the corners, but I'm really quite pleased with the detail in that, and it looks really nice. I love the way this structure here is a light one, and yet it's mirrored the same sort of shape there. It's almost like it's casting itself a shadow, and I think that's fantastic. I like the detail we're getting in here. These lines, flux, whether that's magnetic fluxes going on, I don't know, but these knots and swirls where it's carving out the cavity these hot stars, and I just find it really amazing. So I've hit it with the noise exterminator again on 75, just to take that last little bit of noise out and keep the detail. If you have to go back again, you can see it's just, I've just took that little bit out, and there you have it. I think that's I'm quite pleased with that. I quite like the detail. I could do the dark structure enhance on this. Let's just have a look and see what it do. I just turn it down to about half. I think half's probably plenty. Let's just see what it does. If it improves it or not, because sometimes it can just literally enhance a little bit. There you go, it's just done that. I don't know if you notice it, but you can see up there, it's just, you can especially see it over this area here. It just increases that contrast, and it's done round here as well. Excuse me, going the wrong way. Just increase just a little subtle amount, and I think I'm really quite pleased with that. So there you have it. Pretty decent image. It just goes to show that the more data you get, the better it is, the more integration time, rather, I should say. So I'm going to include the data in the link below, so you can have a play with it, or as usual it'll be in the FITS format, so you can, no matter whatever software you're using, you should be able to see the data of what I've captured. So that's it. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to thank my existing subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do, and a little like, it really does help the YouTube algorithm and my channel to grow. So that's it for this one. I think my next one's going to be a galaxy, so we'll see what I've got there. So until next time, be safe, be well, and clear skies.